Zuhal Mert Uzuner is an associate professor of international relations over at Marmara University, and she joins us now from Istanbul. Zuhal, good to see you. If we expect this conflict to drag on, and many of our guests have said they do, for at least a couple of years, do you expect Turkey's role in this conflict in terms of its position to continue and even to expand?
First of all, Turkey's position is very critical, as we know, especially for fighting against the expansion of this conflict, because as we are all following the news, the latest news, there is still a very important threat about this expansion of the conflict to other bordering nations, the countries too. So I'm still very hopeful about the probable role of Turkey in any probable negotiations to be as a platform for bringing both sides together. We know that Turkey played this role as a facilitator by not putting something very special, very organized solution in front of both sides. So this is very important contribution to the regional peace. And despite all our difficulties we are living in these days in Turkey, this role will be the same, very important for regional peace and stability, I think.
Can I ask you how Turkey can revive these efforts? Because there were a flurry of diplomatic activity early on that led to some early successes. There's been a stalemate now, though. How do you think Turkey should approach both sides to re-stimulate the possibility of some sort of negotiation?
Most important thing in this kind of processes is having a kind of a limited at the basic level of trust from the both sides. And what is very special for Turkey case is this: from the both sides you can hear this trust existing for this facilitator role of Turkey. So this is the beginning point and very important point to understand probable role of Turkey. And what can be as a method to bring both sides is still very problematic, because since the beginning of this conflict, Turkey tries to decrease external let's say the promotion of rising the level of tension more and more, and against the positions of some other actors, Turkey tried to limit conflict and finding a way to bring both sides together, as it is explained in your previous video, that finding out a kind of just peace. So what is the just point is very important to discuss, but I see that still both sides are very far away from each other to discuss any probable common point.
Zuhal, I have about 60 seconds left with you, so let me ask you. Turkey was instrumental in sort of arranging, or the architect of the prisoner swap deals between the two sides, as well as that all-important grain deal out of southern Ukrainian ports. What do you expect could be sort of like the next piece on the chessboard, besides this sort of generic answer of limiting conflict? Do you feel that there's one area that Turkey can actually really make a difference?
We had already an example, this grain deal. So the extension of this, the grain deal is by itself something very important, according to me. It's not something very theoretical, far away from the base and reality of people. So this is important. Another point maybe we can observe in the field of the bringing the sides together around the table. So how it can happen is very important problem at this point, but we can expect it can happen after a while. Maybe both sides can see that it's not so possible to continue as it is when we look at the threat of nuclear the conflict. So I still wait that this base of trust is very important for bringing sides together in Istanbul.
All right, Zuhal Mert Uzuner, thank you very much for joining us here on Territory World.